Hefe's cousin. Let's get into it.
Ray Negro.
Yeah, Ray Negro. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk to you about is you spend a lot of time in Mexico, right?
Right.
What is it like to compare lifestyle out there versus America? Like, what's it like out there?
It's nothing like they tell you on the TV. That's for one.
Oh yeah, what parts of Mexico do you be in?
Bro, I be everywhere. I've been to Sinaloa. I've been to Mazatlan. I've spent most of my time in Sonora and Baja California and Hermosillo and cities like TJ, Nogales, stuff like that. Hermosillo. But I do go to Guadalajara. I do go to Monterrey. And I've been to a few other parts. I've been to Mexico City. My favorite cities in Mexico is Guadalajara and Monterrey. Monterrey's in Nuevo Leon, that's the state. And of course everybody knows Guadalajara is in Jalisco, that's the state there. So big cities, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of activity. I think Mexico's a lot. So far as culture and food, I give Mexico the one up on the States any day.
That's right. So being that you're always in Mexico, I'd imagine you're very fluent in there in Spanish, right?
I wouldn't say fluent yet, but I know enough to go out on dates. I know enough to order food. I know enough to get in an Uber or taxi and get my way around the city, get to and from airports when I'm traveling, make friendships, introduce myself to people, all that stuff. So we're a work in progress. I study every day during the week, and we just go from there.
Say something to the people in Spanish, and then we'll have them judge in the comments how well they think your Spanish is.
Eso. Mi amo es Rey Negro. Soy negrito americano, pero siempre en México o Latinoamérica. Por mi gente hablas español, ya te lo sabes. Vamos conmigo a México, tu fiestas. Muy buena comida, cultura, de alcohol, de marihuana. Les todos es bien. No sé, algo más, es es una opinión, pero todo es bien. Vamos conmigo, dime su favorito país en Latinoamérica, mi gente. Si tú tienes un pasaporte, si tú gustan de viaje, está bien. Dime qué pasa.
That's right. So, being that you're down there, what is one of the biggest misconceptions about possibly being a black man in Mexico?
The biggest misconception, not even so much just on a black man perspective, the biggest misconception about the country of Mexico or anywhere in Colombia, anywhere in Latin America, don't believe all the hype. I mean, yeah, there's things that go on in those countries. I've been an American that travels in those countries 4, 5, 6 hours at a time. I travel way down into the country, far away from American tourist areas. I stay in cities where there's not a whole lot of American tourists. And the misconception is Mexico is just this big, dangerous country, or any other, Colombia or El Salvador or Panama. Now, you have your areas in your cities, and you got small towns in the mountains that don't have military or government patrol. That's where the bad guys do all their business. But, I mean, for the most part, most people in that country are just hardworking, try to raise their families, try to live right. Some of the best friendships, some of the best women I ever dated have been in Mexico and Colombia and Latin America, and that's just what it is. Anybody who travels can attest to that. Everything we hear on our TV. One thing about being in a country like America that has the powerful economics and has the powerful, economic stance and media and influence on the world is that they're quick to talk about every other country in the world and what's wrong over there, but we don't ever talk about what's going on here. We don't talk about our mass shooting problem. No other country in the world, rich or poor, has that mass shooting problems that we have and things like that. So, I mean, it's not as bad as people say it is. It's not as dangerous as people say it is. Yeah, that country has people who will do evil things and stuff, but that's in every country. And I just live off of, if it's your time, it's your time. We don't live in fear. We only here once. And also, it's not as bad as they say, especially in the bigger, more developed capital cities and cities that are decent size with families and stuff. Usually all that violence and shooting outs and stuff in Mexico, then 85-90% of the time they take place in small rural towns out in the mountains that you will never go to, that you will never even hear of. So
okay. So I realize with you going down to Mexico a lot, man, you be around some baddies, bro. You be around the baddies, man. What would you say to Americans that, in a sense, might settle in a sense for less? Because you feel like, well, that's actually your opinion, I imagine. You feel like, I don't know, what's your take on the women and dudes and the women and their choices out here and in Mexico?
That's well known fact. Black men in America will talk to anything. I very rarely see, when I'm in America, when I'm not abroad, I rarely see other black men with attractive women. I see it, but not enough. And not often enough. And I just feel like due to a system that's still very biased, black Americans, whether it be the dysfunction in our own communities, plus the negative perspective given on our people by media and everything, to push agenda. Because black in America, we got internal problems, we got external problems. So we got people in the world who dislike us for our skin, our culture, our people, our group in general. Racism in America is not as bad as it used to be, but you better damn well believe it still exists. And I see these practices working in an industry where, the average age is 50 years old and 70% of the workforce is only a certain culture group of people that are different than me. And that doesn't mean they're necessarily bad, but I also ran into my fair share of them in that industry that are very bad and very prejudiced. So it's a miracle through God, His blessings that I even able to get to where I'm at in that industry. It's I don't know. Black men just settle in America, bro. I mean, that's just real. I really feel like because of the negative reputation that a lot of us have, the lack of self-esteem, the lack of motivation, the lack of self-love, and goal orientation, that a lot of black men in America settle. And I be seeing, I see us settle for less all the time. But if I see an attractive black woman in America talking to a non-black man, usually the men from other cultural groups, they find the baddest black woman they can get. Right? Every time I see somebody not black with a black woman, she's very attractive. And anytime I see black men in America with women that are not black, it's like 25-75, 25% of the time she's a dime or she actually bad. And my brothers in America, we gotta reevaluate the definition of thick. I be seeing brothers all the time, oh, she thick, and I look and I'm like, that's our definition of thick is in the stateside, matrix side is sad, very sad. If I go to other countries and I use the black American definition of thick, they will slap me upside the head. And you refer to the term obese, it's more like it. But to each his own. To the brothers out there that do get baddies, the black men in America who refuse to settle, who are motivated, who are powerful, who are getting money, who are successful, who love themselves, who know their history, who actually talk to attractive women if they're going to date outside their waist. Shout out to y'all. Keep this movement strong. To the brothers that settling for less, not really doing anything with your life, not motivated, man, do your history, man, learn who you are, and it'll give you a lot of empowerment to make your existence better. This is my input on that.
Okay.
I'm a deep dude, so you ain't gonna get no quick answers from me, but y'all know where I'm going.
That's right. So tell me.
I'll tell you what time it is. It's 6:30, nigga. All right. That's what the watch says.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Can I say that on social? Oh well.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I offended somebody.
You're good. Traveling abroad. How important is that? Like, how important is that with like your mental health and like your happiness? Like, what has that done for you? And what do you think? Do you think other people should do it? Like, what's your opinion on like traveling? Because there's a lot of people, especially in the black community, that will stay in their 50-mile radius. They'll never leave. They'll hardly ever leave. You know what I mean? There's some that'll go out and venture off, but there's some that'll just stay, in their section. What do you? Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all individuals, and we all gonna live our life the way we choose. God is always gonna give opportunities for people in our lives to come and give us positive wisdom or effective wisdom and positive influence and words and encouragement. But at the end of the day, like, despite the fact that we're all going to get some kind of positives in our life, despite no matter how hard our lives have been or what we're going through or going to go through or been through, there's always positive people in the world and positive influences that come in our lives and give us personal information to grow. And it's just up to us if we want it or not. So my thing is, passport traveling for me is the world. It's my motivation. It motivates me to get money as a black man in America, because I need money to do what I'm passionate about. You need money to have a passport. You need money to be in motorcycle clubs. You need money to get tattoos and travel and have all the things that I'm interested in. So it motivates me to get money. It motivates me to stay focused. It motivates me to be the best man that I can be. It motivates me to love myself despite what the world and its media is saying about people like me or what they're saying about me. It motivates me to stay in tune with who I am, love myself, and stay motivated and do the best I can to be the best man I can every day. And traveling is a big part. You got a lot of people, black folks, you got a lot of people in the world who are against traveling. For all the people who are living in America that are happy here, God bless you. I don't get mad at them. I let them live their lives. I don't try to convince them to get passports. I don't tell them about my experiences in other countries. Unless they ask, and then I just share why I travel, and I share some of my videos and some of the people I talk to and socialize with and some of the parties and some of the things I've done abroad, and then I just let them know why I feel the way I do. But at the end of the day, brother, we all got our life to live, and not everybody's going to travel. A lot of people spend their whole life, even over there in Mexico. I met people that spent their whole life, 20, 30 years, one city. Never been to any other states in their countries, never been to any other cities, and Mexico's not as big as America, but it's a pretty big country. It's one of the biggest, most economically stable Spanish countries out of all the 21 Spanish-speaking countries on the planet. So it's pretty big and diverse, and you got a lot of people in Mexico that don't go nowhere. Some people, just life of adventure is not for them, bro. And I respect you for whoever you are. If your life is just going home to your job and coming home, and if you're lucky you have a good partner and maybe some kids or something, you're happy with that, hey, do you. I know that, myself, I like traveling. I love going abroad. That's just what I do. And there's many men on this movement, and there's many people against this movement. I don't tell nobody how to live their life. Just do you. And people going to do them regardless. You can tell them, hey, man, I go outside of America, and this happens to me, and then I can share it all day long. But it's up to that man if he wants to travel. It's up to that man if that's something in life he's passionate about. He might not be a traveler. He might be a drug addict. I mean, everybody has their own passion. Some people are happy about cars. Some people don't want to leave America. Some people would take all the hundreds of dollars that I spend on trips and stuff and all that. They'll spend it on car parts or something. Everybody has something in life they're motivated about. If you're a car guy, do your car thing. If you're a sports guy, do your sports. If you're a guy that goes to the gym 7 days a week and a bodybuilder, he can care less about a passport. He's a bodybuilder. So we all put on this earth to have our own particular interests and lifestyles. And I travel because it gives me peace. As a black man in America, my experience, it gives me a lot of peace. It gives me a lot of comfort. I noticed that people outside of countries where people are competing with each other so bad and focused on money, I learned outside of the U.S. people treat each other very different. I noticed that they're more family oriented. I realized that the women are more traditional, which is a very good thing. And that's why I do it. And it motivates me to be the best version of myself, because I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the resources to be able to do that.